Buying a car at auction is a bit like driving everywhere in reverse without a steering wheel. You know something's going to go wrong, but you're not quite sure what. 2 weeks ago, I bought this car blind from Copart Salvage Auctions. I wanted to see if it's possible to buy a car at auction and get it roadworthy for a maximum budget of £1,000. This Ford Focus was advertised as a runner, and I hoped it would make the 250-mile journey home. Sadly, it didn't even make it out of the car park. Now that we've got it back, we're going to dive under the bonnet, strip out the blown turbo, and assess what else is wrong with the vehicle. And we do have a helper with us on this project. This is Frank. Hey boy. We'll be catching up with Frank later. To start with, we need to get a decent battery under the hood. That will allow us to do a fault code read, which will give us a whole load of information about the car, its history, and what's wrong with it. It's not that hard to read fault codes. Dealers, or stealers as I prefer to call them, they typically have a tablet and will connect to any vehicle. Main stealers typically have a cable which they connect to a laptop, and they've got their own software. Whilst it is tempting to invest in the all singing, all dancing tablet, I want to show you guys how you can do this at home as well. So we'll be going the budget route. This is a cable I got off Amazon. It comes with the exact Ford software that main stealers use. Okay, so it's gone on and read the fault codes. Let's see what we got. So we got camshaft position sensor, particle filter efficiency below threshold. That's interesting. Maybe it needs a new DPF. That's worrying. Exhaust gas recirculation metering orifice restricted. Yeah, it's got loads of crud going around the engine. We'll definitely clean the EGR valve out. MAF sensor, not a surprise. Again, we'll clean it off. The MAF sensor is the mass airflow sensor that measures the volume of air going into the engine. So IAT sensor circuit high. Don't know what that is. Interesting fan performance. Okay. Fuel cap sensor. Battery voltage, not a surprise. We changed the battery. ABS config error. Oh my goodness. CAN bus communication receive error. This engine is known as a DV6 engine. It's used across a number of manufacturers of cars like Ford, Volvo, Citroen, Peugeot, etc. In a moment, we'll start taking the turbo off this engine, but before we do that, I just found this document online. It's an internal memo from PSA, the manufacturers of the engine. Now, PSA have clearly seen a lot of these engines come back with turbo issues. And by the look of it, they've had to replace a lot of engines under warranty as well, which they won't like. That's why they've gone to the trouble and the cost of producing this. So they say we've got to do all of these things when replacing the turbo. The oil feed pipes and banjo bolts need to be changed. The oil pump needs to be removed and cleaned. The oil sump needs to be removed and cleaned. And as if that's not enough, it says once the turbo is installed, we then need to check the oil flow rate to check that it's getting enough oil to lubricate it. I've made a huge mistake. This car is going to take a lot more money and a lot more time than I thought it would need to get it back on the road. We're almost £1,000 in on the budget, and that's before we found out anything else wrong apart from the turbo. And there are definitely going to be gremlins if we open up this Pandora's box of a car. I'm thinking I'm potentially going to have to walk away from this one and just suck up the loss that I made at auction. No. I'm not having that. This car has got plenty of good mileage left in it. It hasn't even cracked 100,000 miles yet. It's the easy option to walk away, and I don't like taking the easy option. Let's keep this car on the road. What do you think, boy?
Oh, Frank,
Oh no. Frank's trying to clean the car, it's filthy. Okay, hope you enjoyed that musical interlude. So now I moved on to taking a whole bunch of the coolant hoses off. And here you can just see me just releasing those tabs. That's actually on the air conditioning radiator, the condenser as it's called, not the main radiator. And as you saw there, I just held it up with some cable ties, which just kept it out of the way. Obviously it's hardwired into the aircon system, so the only way to remove it would be to remove all the air conditioning fluid, which is expensive and illegal to do it yourself, so you have to get a specialist, hence why I left it connected and suspended. Finally getting to the turbo mounting bolts now. Yeah, these nuts were really tight. The nuts holding the turbo onto the exhaust manifold there, the turbo studs. So I had to get an extension onto the spanner there to leave them open. Okay, back to the DPF now and just removing these vacuum pipes.
Okay.
The very last of the heat shields on the DPF. There's a lot of heat shields on this car. And these are finally the DPF mounting bolts itself. In a later video I'll show you how I got the DPF professionally cleaned. It's quite an interesting one, that one. And there it goes, the DPF, or diesel particulate filter as it's known. Filters out all of the, well, many of the harmful particulates from the exhaust gases, and just keeping all the bits and pieces together there. This guy here, this is actually the oil feed pipe for the turbo. It's a common point of failure actually for the turbo. There's a little gauze filter in the other end of that, which often gets gunked up. We're going to cover that in the next video for sure. This is the oil return pipe for the turbo. This is where the low pressure oil comes back out of the turbo once it's been used by the turbo. So you might wonder, why on earth is John going to all this trouble? And that's a fair question. About a year ago, my current car was parked up on the street and was crashed into by a stolen vehicle. Because of some law here in the UK, it's my fault for having the car there, not the other person's fault, because they can't trace them and they can't hold them to account. That means my insurance nearly doubled because I was hit by a stolen car. And I'm just not having it. The only way to get the insurance down is by owning an older car, because generally the older the car, the lower the insurance. And I've always wanted a Ford Focus, so that's why we're doing this. Okay, so we finally got the turbo off the Focus, so now we're back in the workshop and it's time to disassemble it and recondition it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and I'll be sure to update you in the next video.
Do you hope so? No, you don't? Okay.